My name is Steve Kent. I'm currently Director of Community and Environment for Cheshire West and Chester Council. It's a bit of a mouthful. Despite that, I've spent almost 38 years in the highway sector, going right back to Leeds University, the road construction unit, and 17 years in various portakabins on the North Wales trunk roads. So I'm a highwaysman through and through. For two reasons I agreed to be a part of the conference. One, because David Hutchinson is an extremely persuasive character, but mainly because I think it's the most important coming together of private sector, public sector, and I believe it's important that we improve our links, we work more closely together, we understand each other better, and I think the HTMA conference is the ideal platform to enable us to further that aim. What I intend to bring to the conference really is just a little bit of an insight into two aspects of collaboration, both of which I think are important and both of which, or neither of which are unique, but I think they're of the moment, if you like. Firstly, we've just gone through a joint procurement exercise with two local authorities, two neighbouring local authorities, simply to gain benefits out of that procurement exercise as a first step. So I think that in itself is worth relating. Beyond that, we expect that collaboration to then extend to the partner, in this case Ringway Services, and I expect that collaboration over a number of years between ourselves, Shropshire and Ringway to deliver further benefits, and we'll perhaps be able to explore potentially what those benefits might be, because this is a very new contract and it will be very much about potential rather than about evidence of what we've done already. I think it's increasingly relevant and increasingly difficult these days for professionals in our area to network, to get to understand each other's ideas on best practice, on innovation, and particularly across what's always been a bit of a boundary between public and private sector. I think we're starting to get away from the client-provider hard split, and events like the HTMA conference really give us that opportunity to further break down that boundary. There are some pretty horrible things coming over the horizon in terms of financial constraints, and it's going to be increasingly important that we're working together to overcome them, and that the public sector isn't just passing its problems on to the private sector. Even in better financial times, we can't afford to stand still. We're all, speaking from the client side, we're all public service providers. The public expect us to provide good services, they expect us to innovate, they expect us to improve. We won't be able to do that on our own, and with that financial background, it'll be necessary for us to work even closer together, public and public-private, in order to meet that expectation against a diminishing resource. We're pretty good with systems, we're pretty good with processes, materials, contracts, specifications, and all of that. The bit that we will need to change most is the attitude and some of the ingrained cultures within our sector. And we're all guilty of that to some extent, and I think that's the area of most potential, that if we can actually get round the table, establish the common aims and work that much closer together, break up some of the old us and them attitudes, then I think the cultural side will probably be the biggest and most difficult aspect to change.